Good morning, folks. Welcome to the stream. This is the continuation of... Oh, that was weird. Oh, don't tell me we're having internet issues at the venue this early in the morning. You know, I've been sitting here ready to go for about the first or the last... Oh, we got an echo here. Hold on. Ready to go for about the last 45 minutes. And the camera's been working flawlessly. But now apparently we have an issue. I'll check and see if there's anything I can do on my end, and I'll message Justin and let him know. That's just one of the things. The internet at the venue is glitching out right now. So we're going to be stuck with this for a few minutes until they get that sorted out, if they can get it sorted out. I'll keep working on it. Okay, well, as usual, there's usually something, but I think I was able to solve it. The internet there is just not capable of putting out a steady stream with the buffer that I had set up on the feed for the input. So I've changed it from a 300 millisecond buffer to a 2000 millisecond buffer. So from a third of a second to 2 seconds, because the technical mumble jumble babble yabble. You don't care, do you? You just want it to be reliable, which I get. I totally get. So anyway, now that we got that sorted out, Lito and Kush. Lito with a pretty nice safety there. He's taken away almost every angle. The only out here is a little bit of a four railer. I don't think the two railer's there. He's looking at it. He's looking at the two railer, but I don't think the two railer's there. I think you're going 3 to 4 rails. He might have the two. Do you think there's enough room to do that? I think that's too shallow, though. We'll see. If you put left on it, see that it really shortens up the second angle. It opens up the first one, but it shortens up the second one. Well, kind of evens out, really. It's only really good for that first angle because it goes in at such a steeper angle that it needs that spin to bring it back to normal. Oh, it's going to be close, but not close enough. Good effort. Lito with ball in hand, leading 2-0. Has all the ammunition he needs on the table. Even though the 6 is blocking that left corner pocket, he still has all of this room to cut that 8 in the side. Just working on a little something here. Sets it up nice and easy. Let's see if we can get half the table in there and get a little closer. Might look nice for some shots, eh? If you missed it, check it out later on. Windows Open. Jeremy Jones was on the Windows Open Dogging It podcast. I'm not sure which one it was. It's the same thing, really. Windows Open is the Facebook page. The Dogging It is the podcast. Molina Mike was your host. Pretty good interview. Then again, I always like hearing what Jeremy Jones has to offer as far as insight and information into the professional end of things. What does the break look like from that angle? Little fuzzy. 4 in the 12. Headed towards the sides. 4 banks. Ooh, 8-ball came out of that rack as well. But that tells me that Kush was breaking from that bottom side of our table as we look at it now. Right around where the 10 is. And just banked that 4-ball on the side. Template rack makes it so convenient. Makes it much more predictable, so you can actually start trying to call balls out of the rack. The old escaping chalk trick. Low ball's not looking too bad here. Kush trying to come 2 rails out for the 5. Or the 6, depends on how he lands. He'll take the 6 here. Easier to control the cue ball. Would like to end up right there. He's going to be a little shy. That's all right. That's not so bad. Actually, he can just stun over this way. End up with the cue ball on that dot right there. Oh, into the 14. Still going to work. Lito gives it up. And Kush on the board, 3-1. 608 would be Kush's Fargo. Lito would be a 676. So giving up 68 points of Fargo gets them one game. They have different handicaps. The handicaps, as you can see, 6s, 7s. 1-8 in the field, Mr. Stephen Folan. Just taking a look, trying to figure out the plan. That cluster at the center of the rack area there, that's going to be an issue. Nothing goes anywhere. You have to move them around. He might have been trying to get in on that cluster right now off the 13. The problem is it's just not in a great position. Your cue ball's going to be ahead or like going to be ahead of the rack or behind the rack, sorry, when it comes off that 13. So tricky. He's taking his time because, you know, if you don't know what to do, if you don't see the plan, see the pattern, take the time, walk around. There's no shot clock here. I mean, nobody enjoys watching somebody take a minute, minute and a half every shot. That's not fun. But sometimes if you're out of line, you need that extra time to just figure it out. Don't shoot without a plan. Even if it's a loosely based plan, at least have some plan. I think that will go there. Cue ball can go into there. He's probably going to miss it. Or scratch. That's a tough one. Again, it's not really getting a lot of good lines into that cluster. So that being said, when you're evaluating this rack to start with, if all things being equal, you can take, oh, that's going to work. That was awesome. I didn't see that. He's now got the breakout. He just needs to be careful he doesn't push the 4 in front of the 13 and block this entire pocket. It's got to have some pace on it. And he gets the 4 out of the way. Does he have a shot? Nothing great. Lito will take the rack off for him. Good morning. It is morning. Oh, man. Wakey, wakey. Eggs and bakey. Already done with breakfast, actually. Oh, should be 11 o'clock on Sunday if you're got something to do. If you don't have anything to do, go ahead, have brunch. Take it easy. You know what? Have brunch at the Metro. They might have this up on the big screen there. You could watch in person or online. Nice shot. Kush hitting some shots out of the deep end of the park. Needs that to keep going. It's going to come up short. Unfortunate. I think if you can hit this part of the 14, you're just trying to knock it here and leave it there. Just mess up the 3. You do have to get the cue ball off that 14 though, because you might clip the 3 itself. It's crazy, but you can always try and cut it in the corner. You just have to, you know, jump over the 6 ball and land on the 14 right there. See, now that I've seen that, that's the shot I would take because it's incredibly dumb. Unless you pull it off and then you're a genius. I don't prove to be a genius very often. Mostly, it's like, why did you try that? Because I couldn't help myself? Not a good answer, I know. Kicking at it up and down with a little bit of spin. Nope, just tying up the 2 ball. Oh, and it didn't tie up. He might have been trying to tie all 4 of them up. Tie the 2 up with the 5, knock the 7 into the 1. Ambitious plan. Would have been amazing if it had worked. Ball in hand and your opponent doesn't have a ball, has only 1 ball to shoot at. And 5 balls to break out. That would be absolute genius. Looks like Lito's going to knock the 5 ball down into the 6. Get the cue ball in behind the 2. Just play a little safe. The 6 ball's a little awkward right now, though you could take it into the top right. He's just going to roll into it. I thought he might have been trying to knock that 14 somewhere. Kush is in trouble here. The advantage of putting that 5 ball where he did is now he has a nice breakout ball that's easy to get on the 6 with. Just doesn't want to bury the 2. Well, he hasn't really buried it, but Might try and break the 1 and the 7 out. Oh, he's got to avoid the scratch. Oh, no. Oh, wow. That's just something you don't... It happens so rarely, you almost forget about it, but it happens often enough that you think, okay, I'll be aware of that, but it's probably not going to happen. And then sure enough, you drill it right in the center. Do you know what? I clearly haven't had enough of coffee. I need to go make another pot of coffee here. Well, pretty sure you wanted to hit that a little bit harder, but he'll take it to the corner. That's not a problem. He may cut it in the side, but I'd probably take that to the corner. Oh, and he rattled the 8. It happens. The moment you have that little tiny blip in your confidence, the simplest run out can be very hard. Lito with some work to do still. Should get it done. Shoots too straight to miss these with any sort of consistency. Although that rattled a little bit. Running it up table and back down for the 8, bottom left corner. That looks like it's going to have some pretty good weight. Kush will probably give him that one. And he did. So rack number 5. Lito leading 4-1 this race to 7. Let's show you what else is going on. On the A side, which I think is starting in a little bit, Curtis George will face Bien Lim. Rahul Dhanendran will face Deepak Hamnani. Don Davidson will try and knock Sasha Kotaccini to the B side. He's given up 2 games there. Stephen Volan also giving it 2 games to John Hunter. On the B side, Tony Jacobs facing Sean Seguin. Sonny versus Mike. Doug versus Jamie. Lito versus Kush. That's the match we're watching now. Oh, the 1 ball was banking to the side. Got a couple balls off the break. High ball's not looking too bad. You can kind of work this as a wheel, really. 13, 15. You know, just kind of in that pattern right there. The trickiest one is probably going from here to here, because you're coming across the shape. You know, every ball has this little cone that you want to be inside of. That's your ideal angle line. And if you're coming into it, obviously you have much more margin for error. But if you're coming across it, it's so much shorter. Whoa! Change of plans. Might be cutting the 14 in and coming around. Oh, he's going to cut the 12 in. So you're going to lose a little bit of your cue ball here. You're hoping you hit something, you carry him into the 3 or the 8, and don't lose your cue ball entirely or lose any of the balls. I wasn't a fan of taking that one simply because you weren't guaranteed to know where your cue ball was going and what you were going to have left. He may see this 10 ball up the rail, but it doesn't really lead anywhere. You could try the 14 off the 2. But again, you're letting your cue ball go. You're limited with how you can cue it. This is going to be one tricky shot. And he didn't get it done. And he's really kind of left Lito the rack if he wants it, which he does. So, you know, he'll try. The trickiest here is the 2-6, obviously. Can he slide forward, play the 6 in this side? I think the 2's in the road. He should be able to get back on this side of it. Maybe play the 3, then the 1, and then the 2. The 2 does go in that top side pocket. It's all just what he sees, how he sees it. Shout out to All Hours Plumbing, Mr. Johnny Sparks, the main sponsor of the tournament, along with the Metro Coffee Bar and Billiards, the Metro Cafe. John and Jose, always up for sponsoring a tournament, along with so many of the others in the scrolling reel down there with Karma Tattoo, Patrick Bayless. I mentioned yesterday my brother's actually getting a tattoo done there. He is so thrilled with the work. He absolutely loves it. I think he's drawing back. Well, he might have the 6 in this bottom right corner. What's he going to have after that, though? He has to be careful he doesn't draw into the side. Should be able to avoid the side altogether. He can roll forward and avoid the side. It's a little iffy as to how the cue ball is going to come off the 2. Oh, he played the 2. That was perfect. And I bet you I have not hit start record on instant replay, and I haven't. So there we go. Now I have. We are up and running. You know what? I can have that start. 1 second here. Yeah, it's not going to work. Never mind. I'll figure it out. Oh, how does that cue ball slide by there? Well, he was a little further back, but... Oh, how does that cue ball slide by there? Well, he was a little further back. Ball in hand to Lito. 2 balls in the 8 ball. I think he'll start with the 5 and then the 4. I guess he's just on that side of the table. Doesn't make much of a difference. Just doesn't want to be straight. And he won't be. He'll be perfect. And just a hair of right hand spin. If you just put top on this, it's going to come off that rail and more up this way. And if you put a little bit of right, it's going to come into the rail and then out this way. Ooh. Always tough to judge exactly how it's going to react. There it is. 5-1. Kush almost there, but just not quite able to get it done. Five-1, race to 7. Kush still can't believe he squeezed the cue ball through there. Didn't even rattle either. I'll be back in a minute, folks. Just gonna go make another pot of coffee. All right, sorry for the delay. I just had to have a coffee. So, had to put a new pot of coffee on. Anybody else like me, where you drink half the pot of coffee, then the other half just sits there, reminding you didn't finish it? Just gotta paste the challenge brackets. Forgot to do that. There we go. Do that to YouTube as well. There we go. Have the socials stuff brought up. And there we go. So comments from YouTube and Facebook should come in, pop up on the screen, so I don't have to keep looking over behind me to the screen. Lito to get on the hill. 6-1. Made short work of that rack. Kush with one last chance. We have a result on the B side. Mason Mackey has defeated Scott Chalmers 6-0. And none of the other matches have finished on the B side. Let's check the A side. Nope. Everything's just underway is where we're at. Oops. My bad. That's a clustered table there. Oh, and he overcut it. He had room. He did have room. Let's see. I'm trying to add something here. Got a bit of work to do here. Trying to come 2 rails for the 13. It might get there. I think it's a little short. That's not a bad effort. Those can be a little tough from that angle. And now he's looking at the 12-10 maybe. I don't think that combination's on. Oh, he might be there. He's indicated the 13. Oh, off the 11. Just plays it ever so slowly. Kicks the 11 perfect into the off side. The 11. And he's on the 9. If he rolls forward just a ball width after contact with the 9, maybe ball and a half, he'll have the 12. This is doable. He can get through this. It's a little fuzzy because I'm just digitally zoomed in. Just adding that stinger. Wanted to see if I could do it. I think it works. I'm not as shaggy as all that these days. Looking for work, you kind of have to tidy up a bit, hey? Trying to get to the 11. I'm not sure that 11 goes by the 3. Can he draw off? He might be able to draw off this 10 into the rail and spin right in between the 3 and the 4. Oh, he goes around 2 rails. That's fantastic. Might be able to draw off this 10 into the rail and spin right in between the 3 and the 4. Draws right around him. Goes around 2 rails. Position. That's fantastic. That was a great shot. Kush with a beautiful out here. And he completes it. So many times we make 4 or 5 nice shots to get down to the 8, and it's a big letdown as we just, well, let's just say we're not successful on the 8. But Kush finished that all the way through. Nice work, sir. Staying alive. With a pretty tricky little run out at the end there. But did a fantastic job of picking through the debris and getting all the way out there. Nothing down. So Kush, right fresh off that great finish in the last rack. If he can keep it rolling, the 11 ball is going to cause problems if he takes high ball. The 4 ball is going to be a little difficult if he takes low ball. I don't mind low ball here. With the 1 and the 5 there, you can make something happen. The 6 could also move that 4 around. You can start with the 2. He's going to elect to go with high ball. High ball's not bad. It's just the 11 ball that's the issue. He's had some pretty creative solutions leading up to this rack, especially in the last one, so he's executed well. If he can keep that going, you can make anything work. It might not be the highest percentage shot if you look at what you're supposed to do, but if you don't have confidence in it, the numbers mean nothing. And it might be a statistically lower run out, but you have a ton of confidence in it, you're going to be a lot more successful than the numbers would suggest you should be. Oh, and he hits the 11 perfectly into the 6. I think the 14 goes by the 4, so he doesn't need to move that, but now he needs to get almost perfect on the 14. He knew he missed it when he let it go. If you watched his body language, and I'll show you right here. Watch his head. Oops. He knew he missed it when he let it go. If you watched his body language, and I'll show you right here. Kind of stood up. I'm gonna hit that replay button again. If you watch his head, he starts leaning almost like halfway there. Halfway there, he knew he missed it when he let it go. If you watched his body language, and I'll show you. Lito hanging up the 7. Oof. Not an easy starting position for Kush here. Oh, I had a horrible feeling the mic was muted. I'm like, no, not after all that. But we're all good. 1-0 for me over the mute button today. There were some nice shots there, weren't there? Why is that not coming up? Oh, Lito moved that 4 out of the way, but fortunately he has the 7 on the other top left corner, so he doesn't have to contend with an elevated cue over the 14. It's just, oh, he's going to take it anyway. Looks like he's going to, well, just the way he walked away from the table there, I think he was looking at the 2-7 combination, trying to get the cue ball in on the 11. He might miss the 11 here, or hit the wrong side of it. It's going to be close. No, not even close. Not even close. That's the advantage of being the player. You get that better line. You can take a couple of different vantage points and really fine tune exactly where your cue ball is going to go. Whereas us, with just the one view of the camera, it's not always easy. Lito not liking his position here. You can cut the 6. It's just thin. Easy to wobble these. Sorry, just looking for something here. Okay, so that should bring up the bracket. There we go. As you can see, we've got a couple of other results. Andrew Wroblewski defeated Neil Rams 6-2. Doug Lowe defeats Jamie Ishii 6-1. And Mike Scott defeats Sonny Rattan 6-0. Up next will be Rahul Dhanendran and Deepak Hemnani. That'll be a good match. Both those guys can play. It'll take me a second to reset, and I'll do that right away. But Kush not going away. He was down 6-1. He's taken the last two. Oh, he was trying to get that 11 ball free as well. Oh, and the 15 ball would have come a little farther if not for that template. Yeah, gotta remove that template right away, folks. I mean, it's 50-50 whether it's gonna help you or hurt you, but still. He's off and running, though. I like how he's taking his time to walk around the table and really get a good plan for how he's going to break that 11 out. He can get there right now. Actually, he's got a little bit of angle on this 13. Oops, that's not on. There we go. Nope, that's not it. There we go. And he can stun. I don't know if he can get far enough, though, because he's got to get across that line so this cue ball can come this way. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, you got it. You figured it out. You guys are smart. If he can slide by the 2 here, this might work. It's going to be tough. He could go off the 2 and scratch in the corner. Oh, and he just missed the 9, but he did get the breakout. It's a great effort. That next match will be for a seat in the A semifinal. Lito just a little bit farther than he might have wanted for the 5, but he's still got the 4. Lots of room for error here. Could go down for the 7 right now. Might be too steep on the 6. He might be going straight at the 7. I think that's exactly what he's looking at right now. He's went to get down in the shot and realized it's just a little bit too much angle to get away from the 7. He's checking to see if the 5 will squeak by the 9. Just gonna roll the cue ball a little bit past the 2. Doesn't want to leave the 7 till last, but he's kind of out of options. He's not going to get on the 7 off this 5, and he's going to have the wrong angle from the 2. Cue ball's going to be going up table. That, I think, is what makes this game so difficult, is keeping your line an inch or two the wrong way, and your whole plan is just gone, and you've got to rethink it and get through it again. If he hits this 9, it's going to double kiss. Oh, wow. No, he didn't. Wow. That's a great shot. Coming around. 3 rails for shape on the 7 after squeezing that 5 ball in. I was worried that if he hit that 9 at all, it was going to double kiss off the horn. I mean, you see the direction it came back. Came back down table. It didn't go up table. So 2 rails. Oh, nope. Just 1 rail. And that'll do. That'll get him where he needs to be. This could be it for Kush, who was starting to make a pretty good comeback. Out to go from 6-1 to 6-2 was nothing short of beauty. Cutting it too much? Nope. Perfect. And nicely on the 8 for the set. Lito takes it down. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back in just a few moments with our next match, Rahul Dhanendran versus Deepak Hemnani. In the meantime, I want to thank all of the sponsors, including All Hours Plumbing and Johnny Sparks. Give them a call for all your plumbing needs, and the Metro Cafe, always willing to support pool in the Lower Mainland, and Crystal Palace Cues for all of your cues and cases and other billiards accessories. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks, folks.